Oh, hello there! Welcome. It's Friday, December 19th, 2008, and this is WFTL Bytes, your occasiodaily FOSS and Linux news show with your host, me, Marcel Gagné. Remember, the link is WFTL Bytes.com. That'll get you all the links to all the stories that I cover in this thing, which, by the way, are always just below the video, at least on the WFTL Bytes site. Before I begin, I must put on my press hat. My press hat for the day. Hey! Joyous solstice to you all. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. And all that stuff like that there. Listen, today we've got some good news. We got some bad news. Actually, we got some bad news too. We got some geekiness. It's the geekiness that's going to be fun, particularly, as relates to this whole Santa thing, okay? Let's start off with the Register. Actually, it isn't just the Register. Adobe and a whole bunch of other places are reporting that, yes, Adobe Air 1.5 for Linux has been officially released. Now, it's only supported under OpenSUSE 10.3 and above, and Fedora, and what's that other one? It's a fairly popular distribution. Oh, darn, Ubuntu. That's it. But it'll work on a whole pile of other distributions as well. You know, it's just that it's not supported under those guys. So if you felt like you really, really were left out because you couldn't run those bits of Adobe Flash, desktop applications on your Linux desktop, well, now you can. Just go check it out. Okay, Register's got a story on it, talks about it, tells you what you need to know. Information Week today talks about huge losses at Palm. We were just talking about Palm, the fact that they were sending out messages to journalists saying, hey, come to the CES and check out our new Palm newness. Well, apparently they lost $506.2 million in the second quarter of their fiscal 09, which is basically like now. So things are only so good. They're kind of pinning their hopes on that newness that they're going to show off, and every indication so far seems to be that part of it is going to be the much anticipated Nova. Nova being, Nova meaning new, Nova being the Linux-based operating system for the new generation of Palm applications. Remember when Palm was like the mobile device? It just seems weird, that so much water and so forth under the bridge. Anyway, over at Computer World, Stephen J. Von Nichols, Cyber Cynic, talks about the fact that Novell Brainshare has dematerialized. It's gone, baby. Or at least for this year, anyway. Novell is citing the fact that the customers are, quote, under increasing pressure to reduce travel and other controllable expenses and are hesitant to commit to attending our Brainshare 2009 conference. Next thing you're going to tell me is that they're going to cancel Comdex. Yes, well, anyway, I know it's gone, really. Listen, Stephen J. Sits there and talks about basically a history of computer conferences and how, it was the place to go to find out what was coming, what was happening, and so forth. There are people out there who blame the internet, specifically things like blogging and Twitter and so forth, for the demise, because, hey, why would you go and find out what's going on at a show when, you can find out online? I'll tell you why. Swag! Cool free toys, baby. Mugs, hats. Listen, hats. I need more hats. But anyway, I'm digressing. It's really kind of interesting. But apparently the big reason seems to be, according to Novell anyway, the economy. The economy sucks. I don't know if you've noticed, but things are pretty bad out there right now, and rumor has it it's going to get worse. By the way, send money. Anyway, Steve Jobs isn't even attending Macworld this year. There were all sorts of rumors flying as to whether, he was ill, whether he's just trying to back away from that stuff slowly or whatever. But what next? No Steve Jobs at Macworld, although, frankly, as long as you get Apple, you're going to have Macworld, I guess. Hey, the blog of Helios is, a little toned down this week. Maybe it has to do with this whole teacher thing that's been happening over there and so forth. However, he has an interesting little story today that you should probably check out. He starts out by telling you that, the picture is worth 1,000 words, so maybe you could check it out. Okay, when you think of GOS, good OS, a lot of people thought Google OS, because, of course, the GOS Gadgets operating system is a Linux desktop operating system that came bundled, with like a whole whack of Google applications and mobile. Had Google Mail, Google Calendar, Google this, Google that, Google Me, Google You. It was all there. All of a sudden, today, on their website, they announced their new cloud version of GOS, of Good OS. And you know what? Actually, maybe you should just go check out the website. Maybe I'll even include a little little snapshot in case they change it or something like that. They've got their Google OS, I didn't say that. They're good OS Cloud with a picture of the MSN search on the desktop. MSN search is their default page on the page. And everybody thought this was a Linux company. What's going on? I just don't know. Anyway, go check that out too. Hey, I'm going to wrap it up with something which is, just perfect for the whole, solstice celebration thing, the giving out of gifts and so forth, particularly if you happen to be a geek. And I know that probably one or two of you out there are geeks. I know I are one. Anyway, here's the scoop. Over at another Computer World Hardware, David Haskin is suggesting that we should create a Linux Gadget Hall of Fame. And you know what? You've got my vote, baby. He talks about so many of the things out there that are running Linux that you might not know about. You got a TiVo, you're running Linux. You got an Amazon Kindle, you're running Linux. You've got a TomTom GPS device in your car, you're running Linux. Linux gadgets are everywhere. We're taking over the world. There's, the Google phone, the Nokia phones. I mean, they're all over the place. And he lists 10 of these devices that you might want to start, to incorporate into this Hall of Fame. Personally, I hope somebody does it. Maybe he'll want to do it. Create a website, the Linux Gadget Hall of Fame, because it's kind of cool. We should build a building, with all these gadgets you get to wander through, sort of like the Sports Hall of Fame and things like that. And perhaps more importantly, at this time of year, those top 10 suggestions might just be great gift ideas for the geek, the Linux-loving geek in your life, or the person in your life who you'd love to give a Linux geek to, but, live CDs just don't seem like the right gift. An Amazon Kindle might just do the trick, or a TomTom GPS. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up with that. Ho, 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 ho. That's it, I'm done. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and joyous solstice to you all. Seriously, bye. Now who's been naughty?